You will not scale your e-commerce business if you are still trying to fund everything out of your pocket. The game is rigged against you. But don't worry, I'm going to help you with all that, because in today's video, I'm going to show you how to launch and grow an online store using business capital, even if you're just getting started. So what I want you to do right now is go grab your pen and paper, and without further ado, let's dive in. All right, ladies and gents, so I want to help you in this space because I've helped at least 2 or 3 e-commerce businesses really scale to the next level as far as utilizing business funding. So that's the reason why I'm making this video. So I want to give you kind of surface level what you're actually going to need and the type of business funding that can actually help you scale this thing as well. All right, but disclaimer, these are just, example numbers. I definitely want you to fact check everything and actually, do your homework as well. But let's go ahead and get started. And the first thing that I want you to do before you get started is you actually need to launch the store, okay? That's the first thing that you need to do. Don't worry about getting any type of cash flow, passive income. No, we don't need to worry about any of that. We need to worry about the foundation first. So number one, what we're gonna do is pick the product or niche, okay? So what I need you to do is look on trends like TikTok, Amazon, or Etsy. This is coming from all the information from the e-commerce business owners that I've helped, because I asked them what do they never necessarily do when it comes to finding that right product. So I want you to do the same exact thing, okay? Search on Google Trends, find something with demand and at least a 3 times markup rate, okay? So for example, just for example purposes, let me make it simple for you. If the product that you found costs you $10, then you want to sell it for at least $30, okay? You can definitely play with it, but I'm just saying, 3 times $30 to at least gain that 3x profit, okay? Does that make sense? Now, once we found the niche of what we're going to sell as far as Tupperware, gym equipment, it doesn't matter, the plethora of different things. When you find that, now we're going to start building the store. And the best place to go, in my opinion, from what I've seen and from the research I've done, it could be differently. You try to do your research, but to me, is Shopify. Now, in the beginning, you don't need a custom coded site. Shopify is just basic. It's $39 a month, and it gives you everything you need to launch. And no, this is not sponsored. I'm just trying to help everybody out that's trying to think of different ways on how to start a business. They don't know what to do, so just start right here. Now, once you get everything as far as the $39 a month, the next thing that you need to do is get a domain name. And that costs normally around $15, sometimes $15 a year, depending on what it is. But there is a premium, I think, and it's about $150 for a one-time fee. Now, once you do all of those, the next thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna have to pay at least $50 a month for the apps, okay? So now all of that, getting your store started, you're already going and you're still under $300, all right? For the most part. Now we found the niche, we set up the Shopify store for under $300. Now it's time to get to step number 3, which is setting up payments, policy, and shipping using Shopify payments to accept cards. Of course, number 1, they make it easy for you, and to create a clean refund policy if you feel that that is necessary. I think it's necessary. The people that I helped was using and had refund policy, so I think you should probably do the same thing. I'm not an expert, but I'm just saying from what I've seen and from the people that I helped. And if you're doing drop shipping, you can definitely sync with apps like DSERs. I think that's how you say it. DSERS, I forgot how you say it, but that, and then also AutoDS. If you can also utilize these to sync everything with it and make everything just a little easier. All right, so you got all that out the way. Perfect. Now we can get into step number 4, which is kind of tricky, but it's launching ads. Ads is not as easy as what everybody thinks or they might say it is. Just in my opinion, because for a person that actually runs ads, I think that you need to find somebody to actually help you or teach you how to properly run your ads, because you can't just put something out there and think that it's gonna, it doesn't work like that. And in this section, I do believe that you should start with at least $500 to test on that month as far as with Facebook or TikTok ads. And understand that your first goal isn't profit, it's to find out what actively works. And that's what a lot of people don't understand when it comes to ads. I even had to learn that the hard way. So expect to spend maybe like $50 to $60 to get that one sale way in the beginning. It could be a little higher, but I just want to give you roughly of what the estimates were actually saying. Next, while you're understanding the ad portion, let's make sure that your backend systems and your backend foundation is set up properly, aka setting up your entity structuring. Because here's where most people mess up. If you want any type of capital and you want your business to be fundable on paper, it starts with having the right entity structuring. Starting with number one, forming the right legal entity. Now, for all of my people that are starting out, beginner friendly, I don't want you to be a sole proprietor, meaning that you're using your social security for everything. You need to actually buckle down, get an LLC, an S Corp, or a C Corp that is going to help you. All right. If you're really starting out, start with an LLC. Okay. That's what's definitely going to help you get your EIN from the IRS website. You do not have to pay for it. And then get a real business address. Okay. Real business address, a real business phone number, and real business email. Gmails are cool, but it'll be better if Bob LLC at, I don't know, business.com. That sounds way better than Bob LLC at gmail.com. Okay, I don't know why, but it just makes you look way more credible, especially to lenders. Step number two, build a paper trail. Next thing I want you to do is make sure that your business is set up properly with Dun & Bradstreet to get your DUNS number, okay? You want to set up listings online and directories. And just like I said earlier, having that business phone number is going to help you in the long run to look more credible, especially when you're opening that business bank account. Of course, you can use your personal phone number, but you always want to separate the two to show that you are actually a business and you're actually mean business when it comes to these lenders. Now, step number three is going to be more of a credit gem for all of my people that are watching. It's buying or using an aged or shelf corporation. Because if you want a shortcut or skip the line when it comes to business capital, utilizing an age corporation is going to help you and really make sense. Because understand that due to banks changing up and changing the direction of providing serious capital to business owners, you have to look lendable on paper. So instead of just having a really good credit score and a credit report, you want to make sure that your business entity is set up in a way to where you're going to get these high amounts of funding. So instead of you getting $5,000, $2,000, even $10,000, $12,000 in funding or approvals, with the age corporation, everything built out properly, you're getting 125, 247, 153, 147, think 277. And I know these numbers sound odd. It's because of all the approvals I've been helping all of my business owners get. And if you want an age corporation that's going to help you get $200,000 to $500,000 in funding to really scale your e-commerce business, what I want you to do is click the link below right now to schedule a free 15-minute consultation with me and my team so we can help you get that. But enough about that. Let's get back to the video. Now, if you're not going the age corporation route, but you do have your LLC set up and everything of that nature, understand that you just don't jump into $50,000 on the business side. You have to build certain things on top of your foundation to make sure that you're credit and business funding worthy. So you want to start with net 30 vendors, okay? So you want to use vendors like Uline, Quill, Summer Office Supplies, things of that nature that actually report to the business credit bureaus. You could buy small items on there, pay the balances off 30 using your net 30 account, and make sure it reports to the business credit bureaus. Please stay on top of these people to make sure that they report. Don't buy this stuff for no reason. Step number two is utilizing business trade lines. If you have an age corporation with us, then you already know that we're going to tell you that we're going to attach a $150,000 or $200,000 business trade line to your age corporation to make you look way lendable on paper. But if you're going the LLC route and you're doing it yourself, you want to utilize like gas cards, again, like the office supplies, having that store credit on the business side with these businesses. And then also you can utilize Amazon Business as well. Utilizing these is going to add more, depth to your entity and also make you look way more lendable. Now, with all that information being said, I just want to tell you when it comes to business credit, disclaimer, that is not the only thing that you will need when it comes to getting serious capital. Guys, your personal credit has to be in order because it will always outweigh business credit. Business credit is probably like 20%. Personal credit is probably 80%. It's really 90-10 if you really want to be honest. So you got to make sure that your personal credit is in order as well. So above a 700, no negatives on your credit report, low utilization. I'm talking along the lines of under 30%, most likely 10% in my opinion, and making sure that your business entity is where it needs to be because that is how you're going to get the massive amount of funding, okay? The business credit side is just to make sure that you look good as a digital footprint in the internet space, okay? Now, once your personal credit, your business entity, everything is set up properly, now it's time to go for the big boy lines of credit or business loans, okay? Once you have at least 3 to 6 months of trade lines reporting, that's when you're gonna go after the real business credit cards and loans. For example, this is just for example purpose, you can go after the Bank of America Plum Platinum Master Business Card, okay? And as in the making of this video, it does come with a $300 welcome bonus. You get 7 months of 0% interest. Of course, after the 7 months, it goes up to almost 27% APR. But if you have a strong credit profile with the Age Corporation, you can easily get approved with this card for $50,000 or way more. And understand, with a very strong credit profile plus the Age Corporation on top of the business trade line that we add to it, you can get approved for not only $50,000 but way more, because you check every single box when it comes to the great credit profiling and the business entity setup. Does that make sense? But it does not stop there, ladies and gents. Always understand that you can also get approved for the unsecured business loan that Bank of America has and still get approved for $80,000 to $100,000 in funding just outright right there. So that means that you can start off again with the credit card of getting $50,000 or more plus the business loan of $80,000 to $100,000, which can result in you just right there alone getting over $150,000. Once we help you cover all of the bases when it comes to the qualifications, it's way easier to become funding ready after that. Because just like I said before, you check every single box. And I just also want to say, ladies and gents, you don't always have to just utilize the banks that I tell you or anybody else that tells you on, their channels or anything of that nature. Even if you're just doing this yourself, you're not going the Age Corporation route, because of course, if you go the Age Corporation route, I'm going to help you, fund your way through every single sequence, because I'm going to give you countless sequences that we utilize every single day, rinse and repeat to get you the funding that you're looking for. But if you're doing this yourself, that does not mean that you have to go to Bank of America or you have to go to any of the other ones. You can definitely look in your area, because a lot of people don't understand this, and I've said this on other, videos and things like that. There are banks and also credit unions in your area that we've never heard of that is giving out massive amounts of funding to people that just live in that town. You would be surprised about the Vermont credit union or wherever you stay at that nobody's ever heard of, and they're giving out $50,000 at a 0% interest, for the first 20 months, just because you live in that town. So I definitely want you to utilize what's in your backyard as well, because if you tack on, just for example, Bank of America $50,000, and then an unsecured business loan of $80,000 or $100,000. That's $150,000. And then let's just say you go to the credit union down the street that you never even thought about going to, but they find out that they give $25,000, $50,000 or anything like that. You're looking at almost $200,000 in funding outright, just right there. You see what I'm saying? And then you can rinse and repeat this with any other credit unions that are in your area as well, or lending services. So I really want you to try to do your homework to try to find that funding on top of what I give you in these videos as well, just to really help you, because there are so many opportunities out there that I will never be able to cover all of them, but there are certain opportunities that you will be able to see because you live there. Does that make sense? Now, I know all of the funding sounds awesome, but I just have to tell you as well, please use the credit wisely, okay? Make sure that when you put in ad spend, inventory, Shopify costs, when you put all this on these cards or the loan, make sure you pay this off monthly and keep your utilization low and in control. Even though utilization does not pop up on your personal profile, but you still want to keep it in check to make sure that these lenders know that you can handle this business consumer debt, okay? Because that is a very big thing, and I want you to stay ahead of the curve so you don't run into any roadblocks that you could have avoided down the line. So let's recap. In the beginning, what you're going to do is what? Pick your niche down a little bit, and then you're going to build your Shopify store or whatever platform that you want to use. The next thing I want you to do is get your entity and business foundation set up, whether you're trying to go the Age Corporation route or you're trying to do this yourself. Then after all of that is done, you're going to go after the major funding credibility site that you have built. Whatever sequences that you have, whether it's what I gave you right here or anything in your backyard, you're going to use that to build up your capital to really scale your business and goals. Because once you have all of this in order, that's when you're going to start seeing your revenue scale. And you're going to see yourself go from $2,000 to $10,000 to $20,000, even $40,000 months, because you have everything in order. And on top of that, you skip the line because you have major capital as far as starting your business. And I know a lot of you are saying, this sounds awesome, this sounds great, but I've tried to do all this, it didn't work for me. Trust me, it's okay. I know that it sometimes can become hard because every bank changes up. Every bank knows that you're trying to get funding, and I know it can sometimes be a headache. So if you're serious about building your business credit and funding your goals and dreams, then what I want you to do is click the link below to schedule a consultation with me and my team so we can help you build that blueprint to get you the capital to scale your e-commerce business or whatever business that it actually is. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. I really hope that this helps somebody, and I hope that even if you're not trying to do e-commerce, it kind of sparks an idea in your mind to figure out and find out, hey, you know what, this is actually what I want to do, and this is something that I want to actually get into to really, help me towards my goals and dreams. Again, I want to thank you guys for stopping by, and until next time, ladies and gentlemen.